This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
So a quiet but warm evening across central Illinois. Nothing on the satellite and radar picture in our area here, but we've still got the temperature that's sitting into the mid and upper 70s. 77 in Springfield, 74 in Champaign. That mugginess still out there. Out the door tomorrow, we're going to do it all over again. We're going to put the temperatures back into the upper 80s for highs on a sunny and hazy day, but the difference is by tomorrow afternoon, we're forecasting a few showers and storms that are going to develop. We've got a rainy period of weather ahead for the rest of the week. We'll talk about it coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
Gun violence doesn't just weigh on the public, it's also taking a toll on first responders. Plus, a daycare closing soon has parents of children with special needs upset. Why they say it's put them in a bind. And it was a home run that earned more than a father's cheers, what one little girl received from the city.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. State police are investigating after a man was shot while driving down the interstate in Urbana. Police say a 22-year-old man from Rantoul was hit by gunfire while on I-74 near Lincoln Avenue. He's expected to survive. But this is the 19th person shot in central Illinois since Friday. 18 were shot over the weekend in Champaign, Urbana, Rantoul, Danville, and Springfield. People we spoke to say they're tired and disgusted of the violence, and they're exhausted. The executive director of a group that is working to end violence says people need to take action.
This is a call to action. It's kind of the same call to action we did during the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor incidents. The difference is us killing us now. So now we have to take on the onus of being the ones to get out there and protest the same way.
On Friday, there is a peace walk. It'll be in Champaign. It starts at 4 p.m. at Garden Hills Park and will end at Beardsley Park. Now, gun violence was not on the agenda for Champaign City Council tonight, but it was a topic of conversation. Several people spoke during public comment about the violent weekend in Champaign. They addressed why gun violence is happening and told the council different ideas to stop it. They suggested hiring more officers and raising officers' pay. Last month, Back the Blue Champaign County spoke to council about respect for police. They were back again tonight to talk to council about their concern for officer safety. Amber OBERHEIM, wife of fallen officer Chris OBERHEIM, also spoke tonight.
Please think about how you're showing up. This isn't about you. It's much, much bigger.
She went on to say she hopes to see action from city council members. All of the violence is starting to weigh on first responders.
You need a little bit of time to adjust because that's traumatic. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a superhero. Those things take a toll.
Mental health isn't just a concern for people in the community dealing with violence, but also for the people responding to it. WCIA 3's Bryce Beeman is with us. Bryce, there are places first responders can go to for help.
I spoke with several first responders in Champaign County. They told me about the different mental health resources they have in place for their employees.
I think mental health is obviously a huge deal. I mean, I think we're learning more and more in law enforcement every day about the benefits of having somebody we can talk to about some of the things we see, some of the incidents we handle.
First responders put their lives on the line to help others.
That accumulation of really ugly things that they see, it does take its toll on a lot of people.
They're the first people arriving on scene to help others, and sometimes what they respond to can be devastating.
We have to keep that in mind. You know, we come to work every day. We don't get to take a time out, and we don't get to say no when the alarm goes off. We go, and we handle whatever the situation is, no matter who it is that needs help, and sometimes those things have a lasting and lingering impact.
This past year has been stressful for everyone, but for those whose job it is to respond to shootings, fires, and other traumatic events, it can take a toll on their mental health.
For a long time, kind of put that as a negative stigma if you sought help, and I think we're starting to kind of break the ice a little bit to see that there is definitely benefits in having these programs available.
Rantoul Police have an employee assistance program and chaplain program, which gives officers and their families resources to speak with someone if they need.
It revolves around things that they're feeling about at work or things that even in their home life, a place that they can reach out and talk to somebody about these problems that they're having.
Meanwhile, over in Champaign, the fire department has a doctor they work with for mental health resources, as well as a peer support program, which is also utilized at the Urbana Fire Department.
It's trained firefighters that are trained to listen, trained in special resources, and trained to help our members when they're in a time of crisis, and even to help their families if there's a time of crisis.
U of I Police is also doing what it can to help officers, the community, and other departments in the area. The department utilizes comfort dogs and has a trained mental health specialist on hand.
We have always focused kind of outward, like, we're out there to help other people. We're really pushing that hard. But the idea that our officers are not seeing these terrible, horrible things on a daily basis.
All three departments told me they hope to see mental health resources for first responders nationwide. Jess?
All right, Bryce, thank you. The Piatt County Sheriff's Department is investigating after a man was found dead inside of a car. The body of 45-year-old James Warren of Monticello was found Sunday night. That car was next to a cornfield 7 miles northwest of Atwood. The Sheriff's Department, the Piatt County Coroner's Office, and state police are investigating his cause of death. New at 10, at least 2 fire departments are on scene of a fire at a recycling center. This is at Bryant Industries off of Route 150 in Danville. This is a time lapse from our weather camera in Danville. Catlin Fire Protection District and Kickapoo Fire Protection District are on scene. You can see the smoke there in the distance. No word yet on what started the fire or if anyone was hurt. Dozens of parents are scrambling to find new options for their children when their daycare closes next month. Several parents whose kids have special needs protested the decision today in Decatur. Our Capitol Bureau Chief, Mark Maxwell, was there.
I'm still in shock.
Dozens of parents learned Friday their daycare is closing down next month.
They're telling us that they don't have the funding, that they didn't recover from COVID.
Several parents say their kids have special needs.
My daughter has autism.
He has needs that can't be met anywhere else. So he functions at about a toddler age, and he's 8, so.
And when they apply at other daycare locations,
the most common answer is we don't feel like we'd be a good fit for him.
This is the only facility in town where children of special needs can be given daycare services.
Now I have a 3-year-old who's autistic nonverbal, and either myself or my husband is going to have to not work because there's nowhere to take him.
This place needs to stay open.
Yeah, I know it's at a disadvantage for the families who have to find daycare in a really tough time.
Amy Bleefnick is the president and CEO at Macon Resources. Tax documents show the nonprofit holds $25 million in assets, took in nearly $250,000 in grant money in 2019, spent $300,000 on travel expenses, and pays her $124,000 a year.
Listen, we don't blow money. We don't blow money. We don't blow money.
State records show last year, Illinois spent $9 million through 12 contracts to the nonprofit that has a mission statement to care for adults and children with disabilities.
In March of 2020, there was a rise in costs.
When the pandemic hit, parents say the daycare raised its prices up to 3 times as much per week.
We've lost money in the daycare every year since I've been here. Okay, we've lost money.
Parents claim the nonprofit had grant funding available but just didn't apply for it. Bleefnick says they decided to close the daycare and respite programs when Decatur Public Schools expanded their child care options.
We're not dumping that program. It's the school district's going to do it.
It would only potentially provide some care before and after school during the Decatur Public Schools school year, not during the whole year.
There's no sense in having duplicate services.
This is an organization whose sole purpose was to provide services for children and adults with disabilities. A portion of the population is being shut out with this decision. And this should not come from a nonprofit that has that kind of mission.
Less than 10% of those kids have autism, okay?
And they depend on a routine.
Right.
And
I get that.
They're going to be disrupted.
I get that. And I don't like that at all, okay? But there are other daycares where they deal with kids with autism.
They can't find them.
Well, not today, no.
Is there nothing they could say to change your mind?
Probably not.
Reporting in Decatur, Mark Maxwell.
Most of the nonprofit's specialized programs for people with disabilities will continue to operate. The specialized therapies for children with developmental disabilities will also continue. The daycare programs are scheduled to close next month. The governor's office and state lawmakers are aware of this decision, and they are looking into it. City employees in Decatur might be getting their own health care clinic. City Council is deciding tomorrow on renovating the upper floor of the library into a clinic. A memo from the administrator says that space is now being used for book storage by Friends of the Library. That group is now in talks to move into the library space. The renovations will cost under $700,000, and a grant would cover around 90% of it. Two best friends started a nonprofit group to help new moms. It's called the Nest Postpartum Support. They provide resources like food, transportation, and lodging to NICU families at Carl. This all started because Paige Rabb and Jessica Wolf were NICU moms themselves. Rabb had both of her children spend a long time in the NICU. They're 3 and 5 now. Wolf was pregnant with twins. One was stillborn, and the surviving baby spent 8 months in the NICU. Her daughter is now 3.
I realized that that's a gigantic hole within kind of the services provided in the NICU.
Very challenging to start your parenting experience in that highly medical setting. So, just being there and not being able to just scoop your baby up, and hold them and bond them and feed them.
The Nest Postpartum will be a team of experienced care coordinators who went through the NICU experience with their children. They'll focus on working with families in Carl's NICU as they build this summer, but they hope to expand to more hospitals by this fall. We have more details on WCIA.com. Kobe Coburn won't be going to the NBA, but where he is going is still up in the air. Plus, weather kept fireworks from going off over Arthur when they're set to light up the night sky. And Kevin, that was last weekend when we had all that rain, but this past 4th of July weekend,
pretty good.
They're good.
Yeah, it was nice. Temperatures weren't too bad. Dry. A lot of people got to get in some of those fireworks and whatnot. But now the rain is going to return, and things are going to get pretty soggy once again, similar to what we had a few weeks ago when we had all of that rain. Okay, let's recap today as we hit 87. Now, the normal is 86, so actually almost right on the money. Same for the low, 66, so 1 degree above on each one of those numbers there, and nowhere near the records. More rain in the forecast. We'll talk about when maybe things turn a little cooler in a very wet weekend forecast coming up.